Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Hannah Messier. We are tracking severe storms, the potential for severe storms entering eastern Iowa within the next half an hour or so. Now, we're going to look at the current radar image across eastern Iowa. We have chances for these storms to move east. We even have a few warnings now in effect for parts of eastern Iowa. The line of storms now is west of I-380, spanning all the way from Mason City down to Ottumwa and then west towards I-35. We'll start to take a closer look at some of these warnings now. We have a close look at this warning south of I-80, just west of Oskaloosa. This warning is in effect for Lucas, Mahaska, Marion, and Monroe counties, and this warning is in effect until 2 o'clock, so for about 35 minutes. It is radar indicated. The source for that warning is radar indicated, and it is for 0.88 inch size hail. So, and for 60-mile-per-hour winds. That storm is moving to the northwest. It does have a tornado possible tag on it. Meteorologists don't have any indications that there is any radar indicated rotation potentially concerning a tornado, but it is possible with this storm, which is why that they included that. There is also a severe thunderstorm warning by Fairfield. This severe thunderstorm warning is moving to the northeast. That's where that storm is, by Fairfield. And there is one really close to the border with Missouri, and that one includes Clark, Hancock, and Lee counties. So a little bit of a wider view shows that all of these warnings now are to the south of the KCRG TV9 viewing area. But as these storms continue through the afternoon, we'll likely see more warnings develop. And again, we are watching for the chance for some tornadoes. That's why we do have a tornado watch in effect for parts of eastern Iowa, with large hail, tornadoes, and damaging wind, all potential hazards with these storms. So some things to think about, of course, when we do have that tornado watch in effect, is that you're going to need to know where your safe place is. You're going to need to know where to go if a tornado warning is issued for your area. That is an interior room. That is where you should go for that potential tornado warning if a warning has been issued. Now let's take a look at our Cedar Falls City Cam. Cedar Falls, that's where we have some showers and storms entering the area. No severe warnings in effect for Cedar Falls, but we can see that it is raining in Cedar Falls. The winds are high enough that they are shaking some of the trees. Our Waverly City Cam, same story. We've got raindrops on the lens in Waverly. The trees kind of blowing around in the wind, but again, no warnings in effect for eastern Iowa at this time. The reason why we are seeing the chance for severe weather today is because of this low pressure system that has now moving into the state of Iowa, and it's dragged a warm front into the area. That warm front, all the warm air behind it, providing all of the energy for these storms to develop. Let's time out the rest of the afternoon to see what we're expecting in eastern Iowa. We have the storms reaching the I-380 corridor by around 2 o'clock. That's within the next half hour or so. These storms will have the potential for hail. Some tornadoes can't be ruled out with these storms, like we've been talking about over the last few days. We have by 3 p.m. the storms still in the area, and then notice by 4 p.m. that first round of showers of storms that are up by Fayette, Dubuque by 4 p.m. There's a second round or second line of storms behind it, then entering eastern Iowa by Tama. The storms by 5 p.m. still in the area, some scattered storms continuing through the evening, and then ending by 9 o'clock tonight with some weaker storms behind the couple of mainline storms that will likely continue overnight. Wednesday morning, waking up to some cloud cover. So all of the ingredients needed for tornadoes to develop are there. In eastern Iowa, the atmosphere has all the ingredients needed for tornadoes to develop, and those ingredients are going to be with us for the entire afternoon and into the evening. Hail ingredients are also there through this afternoon. We have some hail ingredients all across eastern Iowa, so don't be surprised if you get some large hail today, and don't be surprised if a few tornadoes do spin up in eastern Iowa. Now, speaking of tornadoes, remember we do have a tornado watch in effect for eastern Iowa. That means right now you should be prepared. It means you should know what your plan is. You should have your disaster preparedness kit ready to go with any medications your family needs, lots of water, and make sure you have non-perishable food in that disaster kit. But we should already have that done now that we have that tornado watch in effect. Tornado warning is when you need to use the plan that you've created and put it into action. That's when you need to go to your safe place. That's when you need to make sure you're in your interior room without any exterior walls or windows. If you live in a mobile home or a mobile home park, you need to make sure you go to a tornado shelter, because your mobile home is not a safe place during a tornado. Make sure you have a shelter you can go to, or if you have a neighbor or a friend's house, you should go there this afternoon to try and stay safe. Go to a house or a building that's going to be able to provide you some safety. The tornado emergency is the last alert that you need to know about in relation to tornadoes. These are very rare situations. When these occur, it means there is a confirmed tornado on the ground that has a major threat to life and catastrophic damage with it. So that's the tornado emergency. Now remember, you need to have multiple ways to get that warning information. Make sure you have the KCRG TV9 First Alert Weather app downloaded to your phone. That's going to provide a very good amount of information. It's going to tell you when all the watches and warnings have been issued. It's going to tell you when all of the tornado warnings get issued for your area. It's going to be able to tell you what the forecast is for the whole afternoon, and we're going to continue to provide updates on the storms throughout the afternoon on the KCRG TV9 First Alert Weather app. Going over all of the things you need in your disaster supply kit one more time. Make sure you have plenty of water. Make sure you have all your prescription medications, cell phone chargers. Your cell phones should be charged by now, or make sure that they're charged. A whistle is a good idea to include in your disaster supply kit, so you can signal for help after the storm if you need to signal for help. Of course, again, make sure you download the KCRG First Alert Weather app. We'll be providing video updates throughout the afternoon. We'll be providing any storm warning information via the KCRG TV9 First Alert Weather app. All right, now I'm going to pop radar back up. We're gonna pop our radar image back up, and I am going to ask or see if there are any questions in our chat. So Zach asks if I'm anticipating only 2 waves of severe weather for Cedar Rapids now. So there are going to be multiple waves of storms throughout the afternoon. Basically, rather than giving you an amount of waves we're expecting in the area, just know that strong to severe storms are going to be possible all across the eastern Iowa, including the Cedar Rapids area, pretty much through the evening. So just expect that storms are possible from now all the way through at least 8 o'clock tonight. It looks like that's the only message we have. Of course, we'll answer more questions as they come in to the chat on YouTube. I'm going to quickly check to see if there are any more questions on the KCRG TV9 First Alert Facebook page. Doesn't seem to be. VTVOT asks if there is any hail likely. Yes, we're expecting hail with these storms, some potentially large hail with the storms. And Mama Bear asks how bad it will be in Waterloo. Waterloo is in that potential for strong to severe storms this afternoon. We could get all of the potential hazards in the Waterloo area, in addition to all of eastern Iowa, such as the large hail, the damaging winds, and the potential for tornadoes. Obviously, there's a lot of rain with this system too, so we can't rule out some flash flooding alerts being issued today as well. All right, that's all the questions I see, so we're going to go over all of the information just one more time. This is what we have right now on our live pinpoint Doppler radar. We can see the storms span all the way from Mason City down to the border with Missouri. So through the Waterloo area, you're seeing some of the storms now, but there are no warnings right now issued in the KCRG TV9 viewing area. We'll take a closer look at some of the warnings that are to our south and west though. First, we're going to take a look at this warning right here by Jasper, Mahaska, and Marion counties. This is until 2 o'clock, so for about another 25 minutes. It's for 60-mile-per-hour winds, and it is for hail less than an inch in diameter, about 0.88 inches in diameter. It is radar indicated, and they have also included a tornado possible tag on it. This doesn't mean that there is a current tornado or a suspected tornado with the storms. It means that this storm has the potential to produce a tornado. So that right now is just that severe thunderstorm warning. We're going to move now on further off to the south. We have a severe thunderstorm warning issued for Fairfield. Fairfield, you're inside a severe thunderstorm warning. That includes the counties of Henry, Jefferson, and Van Buren. Looks like we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for Jasper, Mahaska, and Marion counties. So that's for that same storm we just talked about a few minutes ago. So this one still has that tornado possible on it. It has radar indicated, and for hail about a 1/4 inch in diameter. We'll take a look at some of our hail sizes estimated by radar, see if any of that pops up. Doesn't seem like we're seeing a whole lot of that, but again, that is what meteorologists at the National Weather Service are suspecting. On our velocity scope, doesn't look like we're seeing too much in terms on our velocity scope, so that is that warning west of Oskaloosa, that new one. Now we're going to go back and look at the warning. Again, this one is south of our area along the border of Missouri. It is for Clark, Hancock, and Lee counties. For 60-mile-per-hour winds, radar indicated, and 1-inch size hail. This one also has that tornado possible tag on it. We're probably going to see a lot of these this afternoon, where pretty much the storms this afternoon do have the potential for becoming tornadic, but that doesn't mean that they are tornadic now. So right now, that's just a severe thunderstorm warning. We'll zoom out again to give everyone a big picture of what we're seeing in eastern Iowa. We have the storms ranging all the way from Mason City down through the Waterloo area, west of Cedar Rapids, west of I-380, west of Iowa City mainly. It does look like we have some storms now west of Washington, but there are really no warnings inside the KCRG TV9 viewing area right now. But there is a watch out. There is a tornado watch out until 8 p.m. for almost all of eastern Iowa, and just because it's just a tornado watch doesn't mean that all modes of severe weather are possible. You've got large hail, tornadoes, and damaging wind all expected with these storms today. Remember that tornado watch is in effect until 8 p.m. On our Cedar Falls city cam, skies look pretty dark out there. We see that trees are moving in the wind. It is likely raining in Cedar Falls, but because of the resolution on this camera, it's kind of hard to tell. We can see the raindrops on our Waverly city cam, however, though, and the trees are moving in the wind. Again, this is the picture as of 1:40 or 1:30 gate, and there are no warnings out for Waverly, but we are again watching that. The reason why we have the chance for severe storms in eastern Iowa today is because of a low pressure system traveling through the Hawkeye State. It has dragged a warm front through our area, and that warm, moist air behind the warm front is really what's driving the potential for severe weather today. Timing everything out. This is going to be the picture in about 20 minutes or so, with the storms ranging from Charles City all the way down to Mount Pleasant, and these storms will continue basically through the entire afternoon. Even after that first initial line moves through, we see another line coming in right behind it, and we have the storms moving by 5 p.m. Looks like we have another severe thunderstorm warning. So we're going to look at this new warning. It doesn't look like it's inside the TV9 viewing area quite yet here. This is for Appaloosa, Monroe, Wapello, and Wayne. So that one is to the southwest of Ottumwa. So still doesn't look like the warnings are really in the main part of the eastern Iowa KCRG viewing area, but that we are going to continue watching for that potential development. Back to our pinpoint futurecast now. We have 5 p.m. Still seeing those scattered thunderstorms, potentially severe storms continuing. 6 p.m. still seeing storms in eastern Iowa, but by 8, 9 o'clock, things should be pretty much winding down. That doesn't mean you won't hear some rumbles of thunder, see some lightning out there, but they're going to be weaker storms, the ones later tonight into Wednesday morning. All of the ingredients necessary for tornadoes to develop are up in eastern Iowa, thanks again to that warm front. And that's what we're going to see through the afternoon. So that's why we're highlighting the potential for tornadoes with these storms. And we have hail also ingredients out there. So we have all the ingredients necessary for hail to develop, and that's going to be possible with the storms through the entire event. We do have a tornado watch again in effect for almost all of eastern Iowa. That means you need to be prepared right now. Your disaster kit should be ready to go with everything your family needs. You should know where to go if a tornado warning is issued for your area. You should already know where to go. That's at an interior room in your house without any exterior walls or windows. If you live in a place like a mobile home park, maybe go and see a neighbor or a good friend who lives in a safer place now. Staying with them for the afternoon will be a good idea. Or if your mobile home park has a tornado shelter on it, make sure you know where that is and make sure that it is accessible to you, that you will be able to get inside there. Tornado warnings, that means that meteorologists at the National Weather Service have noticed rotation inside of that storm. That could potentially mean that a tornado is on the ground there, or it means that a tornado has been spotted and that it is there. So tornado warnings mean you have to get to your safe place then. That's when you should be in your safe place. Storm shelter, interior room, that's where you need to be if that warning is issued. Now, these tornado emergencies are very rare. They only happen when a confirmed tornado is on the ground and poses a major threat to life and catastrophic damage. So tornado emergencies, you really do need to take very seriously, but take all three of these very seriously. Next, we have making sure you have multiple ways to receive all of that information. Remember, do not rely on the tornado sirens. They are World War II technology. And in 2024, when we have cell phones, you really want to make sure that you rely more on your cell phone than the outdoor warning sirens. Outdoor warning sirens are only meant for people who are outside. The KCRG TV9 First Alert Weather app is always the tool you should have downloaded to your phone. We're going to be updating that throughout the entire afternoon with videos of where the storms are, and it has the latest forecast. It'll also go off with alerts when warnings and watches, new ones, have been issued. So the KCRG First Alert Weather app is very important. Now, we have again been dealing with the Cedar Rapids NOAA weather radio transmitter being out of service. That is still the case. So if you are in the Cedar Rapids area and surrounding counties, do not expect your NOAA weather radio to work today. You're going to need to download and the KCRG TV9 First Alert Weather app and make sure your phone is charged with notifications turned on. Here's some of the things you need in your disaster supply kit. Make sure you have all of these things on hand in your safe place. Water, non-perishable food items, any prescription medications you need, your family needs, your pets need, make sure you have all of that. Flashlight, make sure your phone's charged again, extra batteries, even a whistle. A whistle's a good idea so that you can signal for help if you really do need help. Now, here is again the information you need to download the KCRG TV9 First Alert Weather app. And if you have questions about how to use your KCRG TV9 First Alert Weather app, meteorologist Jan Reichert has a fantastic video on our app that tells you all you need to do to get your app set up. That information is also found on kcrg.com. We're going to go back to our YouTube chat and see if there are any new questions there. Rory Jr. asks how bad the tornadoes will be. There is the potential there for some stronger tornadoes. There's also the potential there for some weaker tornadoes. So just be ready for all kinds of tornadoes this afternoon. Has the risk for tornadoes diminished at all, or is the risk still higher? Nope, pretty much the same risk we've been telling you about for the last several days. Mama Bear asks, how likely would it be for a tornado to hit in town Waterloo? So it is very hard to forecast where exactly in the area a tornado is going to develop. Just know that tornadoes are possible everywhere in eastern Iowa today. Just be prepared for it. Northern Evans asks, when will it hit Davenport? So we're going to go back to Pinpoint Futurecast, and we're going to go through the timing again so that we can get the latest information for Northern Evans. So 2 o'clock, the storms 15 minutes from now, still in eastern Iowa, west of I-380. Those are going to continue to move east by potentially between 3 and 5 p.m. hitting the Mississippi River area. So that's when I'd be aware of the potential for storms entering the Davenport area, Evan. Then, as we head through the 5 p.m. hour, still storms everywhere in eastern Iowa, including potentially in Davenport. That continues all the way through 8 and 9 p.m. All right, I don't see any more questions on our YouTube chat. We're going to check Facebook again one more time to see if there are any questions on Facebook. Looks like we do have maybe one Facebook question. All right. Ryan asks, is Cedar Rapids under any sort of watch? Yes, Cedar Rapids is under the tornado watch. Thank you for that question. All right, I think that's everything we have to cover right now. We're going to go back to live pinpoint Doppler radar really quickly to show you where those storms are now. Warnings still not really entering eastern Iowa, but that line of storms is. So we're going to start hearing those rumbles of thunder, seeing the raindrops, hearing the rain pounding on the roof. We're going to hear that in just a few minutes here. So don't be surprised when that starts to enter the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, Washington. You're already starting to get some of that, but there are no real warnings in eastern Iowa quite yet. All right, looks like Scott M. has a question. Watching from California, his son is at the University of Iowa. Is Iowa City under the tornado watch? Yes, Scott, Iowa City is currently under the tornado watch. All right, if that is everything, thank you all so much for watching this YouTube live update. We'll continue to provide more updates on air and online as the storms move into eastern Iowa. Again, make sure you have that KCRG TV9 First Alert Weather app downloaded to your phone with notifications turned on, and that way you can get the latest information from us as it develops. Thank you for watching.